Sweet Christ. Okay, next pit stop we're gonna have to tug off. So let me finish the story. So I pull over. This man, this pale skin with a cape comes out. He said, "Hello, do you have the package?" And I said, "Yes, I've got the delivery. I don't know what it is. They didn't tell me." He says, "Oh, don't worry, it'll be fine." And I was like, "Okay, it's a little weird." But so I go in the back and I open the back of the truck, the very back truck, and it's a bunch of baby cribs, just a whole parcel of baby cribs. And I'm like, "Oh, wow, this is weird as hell." And he's like, "Don't worry about the baby cribs." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not worried." And he starts pulling out. A bunch of other people come out. A bunch of people dressed in hot dog and pine tree costumes. And they come out and they start unloading the baby carriages. So they do that for about an hour. We get all the baby carriages out and they line them up. They line them all up into separate rows, and they've got pieces of paper they're sticking on with numbers and stuff. And I'm like, all right, okay, well, it's not a drug deal. It's not a drug deal. At least we got that sorted out. And so we detach the first coupling, and we go to the second, the very first one, the carriage that's closest to me. The one like that one, the one you see right there, that one. Oh, great job, Uncle Asshole. And so we get to the other one. And I start sweating beads. I'm sweating beads and necklaces. And so the hot dog people, they lift up the back road, and they say, "Oh, this is what we need. This is what we need." And they open the box. They open the first box, and inside of it is a baby possum, and he's dressed as a plumber. There's a baby possum dressed as a plumber. And they take him, and they put him in one of the baby carriages. And the first things we unloaded, he puts him in the baby carriage. And he puts it, this hot dog little man, he puts him in the baby carriage, and he coos him to sleep. He goes, and the little fox falls asleep. The possum. And the next box they open, it's a possum. And he's dressed as a little man in a business suit with a hat. And another man takes him and he puts him in a baby carriage and he coos him to sleep too. And then the little guy falls asleep. And every box they opened, it was another animal. There were armadillos, there were kittens, there were dogs. There was one of them was a baby, just an actual baby. One was a robot in the form of Buzz Lightyear, and they put them all in the baby carriages, and they all hooed them to sleep. And after that, the Count, I found out later he was a vampire. He gave me a bundle of money. He said, "You don't tell anyone about this. You don't tell anyone." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I went back 2 years later to that same park. Yeah, I'm on a schedule. I went back. Oh, God forbid my schedule. And I went back 2 years later, and it was a mascot theme park where people in giant raccoon and possum and fox costumes would go around the park and do jobs. And all the employees were dressed as foxes and possums, but they were the most realistic costumes anyone had ever seen. And this park was praised. It was praised for their award-winning realistic costumes. And I was in the park, and I saw the fox. I saw him dressed as the plumber, the same baby plumber outfit that he was dressed in when he took out of the car. And he was fixing something. And I looked at him, and he slowly turned around and he looked at me, and our eyes locked. And it was then I knew that wasn't a costume. That was a real possum doing a plumber's job. And everyone at that park, everyone that worked at that park was in my truck that day. And animals ran that park. And that vampire, he ran it. And that was... from the corner of my eye, I could have sworn I saw the vampire man But I got the hell out of there because I know when there's things you're not supposed to see and things you're not supposed to know, you better get the hell out of there, Davy Jones, you know? There's a reason I don't ask questions on this job, and that's one of the reasons. And that was, don't tell anyone that story. I will get murdered. I delivered an amusement park filled with stuffed crust animals. You did a job that was good, but you hit some cars, and that wasn't good. But you're level 1 now, so you can go open a bank account. Open a... Alright, so there's a whole bunch of things. This increases my fuel economy. Yeah, I can do important deliveries, fragile cargo such as glass, small ninja figurines, high value cargo like VHS players. Long distance, I can drive from Germany to Germany, and ADR, which means I can transport fire. I'm gonna transport fire. I have an email. Oh, new trucks for sale. I would like to try your trucks. I have 4,000. Let's buy online. Sluts. Fine. Yes, let's go visit the majestic trucks. This is my dream come true. Oh, they're so sexy. This building's enormous. I'm floating. Oh, 98,000 euros. Okay, I can afford that. Yeah, wonderful. Oh, 165 euros. Okay, no problem. And yeah, no, I can do that. Okay, 148,000. Great. I traveled here for nothing. In my day, I could purchase a truck for 2 euros. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ah, God, Jesus Christ. What's in the bank? What is this? Oh, I can borrow. Oh my. I think I'm just gonna do some odd jobs for the time being. Alright. Euro goodies. Iron pipes, car parts, or dry milk, ice cream. Delicious. Rubber tires, sawdust potatoes. We're delivering potatoes. Okay. Okay, potatoes on the run. Potatoes for fun. Start the engine, and we're off. Alright. So. Oh, am I a double-decker diggle? Oh, I am a double-decker diggle. So, the reason there's 2 cargo plats is because, not many people know about this, but, potatoes need to be separated. That's right. Potatoes have 2 parts, the front and the back of the potato. You have to cut them in half when you're transporting them, and you put the back parts in the back cargo hold and the front parts in the front cargo hold. And this is so they don't explode, because potatoes are very explosive, and not a lot of people know this, but it's the truth, and it's dangerous, and that's why there's 2 cargo holds. It's life. Okay. Fill her up, John. I know the guy that works here. He's a good man. Holy shit! John! Mother of pearls and mouth dogs. My God. Well, John, good Lord. Enjoy your vacation in Hawaii. Oh, never mind. Okay, we're good. Whew. So, this is the same route. I usually take this route. It's very comfortable, very nice. It's enjoyable. try not to get into too many accidents, but, you know, it happens, and I'm okay with that, you know? Life happens. Yellow? Why are they telling me yellow? That's weird. Alright. So, let me tell you another story about my boyhood. So after last time we left off, I had fought two little people who were in a kangaroo costume. I bit one of their balls and had kangaroo little person dick blood in my mouth. Now, after that, I fought for a number of years. Oh, I have a new email. I should read it now. And crash. Yeah, no, that's great. Welcome to Germany. Here's a station wagon. Anyhow, so I fought for a number of years, about 3 years. So now I'm 10 years old. I am a prize fighter. I fight kangaroos like nobody's damn business. I'm off the track, I'm on the track, I'm sideways on the track. They were putting me on all sides of shows. At one time I fought foxes. At one time, a number of overweight men. There was an overweight match where it was very, very overweight men, and I had to fight them. And it was... Oh, come on, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Jesus Christ. Potatoes weigh far too much than they should. And so we did all these contests and stuff, and I was fairly good at most of them. And one day, my agent, Kordoff, he used to work at Nathan's as an animatronics machine. And one day, a wizard came to Nathan's where he worked and shot a spell at him by accident, turned into a living, breathing creature that was also a robot, and the first thing he did was become a kangaroo prizefighter agent. It was his dream. So me and Kordoff was looking around the ropes to find something to spice up my rack. And I'd been in plenty of fights, but I was winning them all. And the only way to spice up your rack was either to lose, become an underdog again, maybe get champed down is what they would call it. But I was a man of honor, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try something else. So Kordoff, he called a few of his friends, and they figured, hey, we've got these 10-year-old boys. They want to do something exciting. Why don't we make a bunch of little cars and have them do a death race? Yes, a death race. That's right. So Kordoff, a whole bunch of other agents who are kangaroo boy wranglers, they got us together, and we each built our own custom little cars. You know, like the cars that kids have, and they drive them in the street, and, you know, and there's always commercials where there's like, get your kid a car and he can pick up a girl. And then it shows a little kid, and he goes over to the girl, and he's like, come on, baby, get in my car. It was like that, except we were going to murder each other. That's right. That was another part of the stakes. Murder was allowed. In most of the kangaroo matches, you couldn't kill the kangaroo, and the kangaroo could not kill you. A few matches, they did give us firearms, and they would also strap firearms to the kangaroos as well. And when it lined up with your body, you'd have a heart sensor. The machine guns would go off. But that's another story. So me and Kordoff, we started on our car. And we don't know the first thing about making cars. So we went to a local auto body mechanic shop, and we said, could you be our sponsor? Could you get a toy car, fix it up a bit, and it could be a death machine? And we met this guy named Joel. And Joel was this ecstatic old guy. He was like in his 80s, and he was like, sure, I'd like to make you a car. And so Joel, he got together, and we drew up plans the whole night. We got a whole bunch of gushers and bananas, and we had a gusher banana party. And for those of you who don't know what gushers are, they're gushers. And so we had a party, and we drew up plans. We had a whole lot of designs. We had one that was a cookie, and it would shoot chocolate chips out and drown my opponents in chocolate. Like, it would encompass the car in chocolate, and they would drown in chocolate. Some of them involved, there was one that shot flames out of ducks that were in the shape of penises. That was a good one. And there was one of my favorites was it was a grape car. It was a giant grape, and spikes would come out and impale anything. I don't know why I liked that one. It might have been the color. It was very purple. But what we settled on at the end of the day, what we settled on was just it's to this day, I don't know how we figured it out. Joel was leaning back in one of his chairs, and he said, "I don't know what car would make." And he falls back, slams his head into a nail. There was a lot of nails on the ground here, and he gets up. We're all screaming. I'm screaming, "Oh!" And he gets up and he's like, "I've got it. I've got the idea for the car." He had a number of corpses in his basement. Corpses he didn't need anymore, and was just waiting for something to do. And we found this large corpse. It was a man in his 40s, and they were all frozen, so they hadn't decayed or anything. So he takes this corpse of this old fat, well, it was, a 40-year-old man. It wasn't old. And he takes this corpse of this fat 40-year-old man. We carve open the belly. We freeze it with nitrogen, and we had some kind of a perfume and such he had, and it smelled good, and he made the casing very hard. And he said, get in there for me." And I jump in this man's body, and I say, "My God, this is my death machine." And it was, we put some wheels, we attached some wheels to the ankles, and one to the head, and it looked good. But then we switched it to tank treads. And then we realized it was a race, so we went back to the wheels. And so I was the dead rodeo clown is what we called the car. And so I rode a dead man into the race. And when we got there, my main weapon, we'll get to that. We'll get to my main weapon. And so we get to the race, and everyone's got cars. Some of them, they just went normal, like kangaroo. Some of them went sports car-y, and they're all little kids, 10-year-old, 12-year-old. And so we're all there to race, and we're ready to die. We're ready to fight to the death, because the cash prize, 25 million euros. That's like 70,000 rock salt. So we start the race, and first thing, everyone just, blasts off. And we're going, and this was in the Tunisian Deathlands, where there's a lot of cliffs, a lot of rocks, a lot of fodder. And so we're on the Tunisian Deathlands, and these cars are going, and I'm riding my dead man, and I see my first customer. "Oh, my first customer," I say, and I launch my Gettelpier, and my steering wheel was actually the man's. It was his jaw. It was his jaw. So I'd move the jaw, and he'd go left, he'd go right, and I would push on his heart, and that's how I would accelerate. Until it stopped, I'd hit the kidney, obviously. And so I see my first customer, and it's a man in an ice cream truck, it wasn't a man, it was a boy. And I say, "Get ready for the life of a time bomb." And I hit it. There's a small button, and machine guns come out of the man's shoulders, and I blast this ice cream truck away. You should have seen it. Exploded, and their secret weapon was it was ice cream and sprinkles. So sprinkles, ice cream explodes out of this man, flies everywhere. I'm laughing. Some landed in my man's mouth. So I've got ice cream in my dead man's mouth, and some landed on me too. And I'm gonna admit, I did take a spoonful. I brought a spoon just in case. And so he's down. The race is going on for a number of hours. I take down a few other people. There are a few close calls. There was a fox car that shot small bees, and the bees would attach to you and sting you, and they'd scream "bananas!" And that one was scary, but I got over it. We finished it. No, I'm not taking a ride here or anything, dickbag. And so finally, it's the end of the race. I've made it to third place. Guy in second is having some trouble, but the guy in first, he's fine. So I see this guy in second, and I can take a shot at him. I can take him out, but he's so close to first, and he wants to take down first, that I let him get ahead a little bit. So the guy in second, he's in a meatball car. Guy in first, he's in a bird. A flying bird. It wasn't even a car. He was in a bird. So Meatball He hits his primary weapon. Spaghetti fingers fly out, wrap around this bird, strangle it to death. It crushes, and what the bird's weapon was, it would float up above your car and crap on it. And so the spaghetti fingers go around this bird car, crush it, and explodes into bird crap all over, bird crap all over the car. Guy in second place flies past, skids on the bird crap, starts to skid a little bit. I go over the bird crap. I start to skid a little bit. I'm skidding, he's skidding, and I'm like, this is the time where my ultimate weapon comes out. My ultimate weapon. I lean back. I grab under my dead man's pants, grab the penis. I pull it up and I rip up the trigger, and the man's head, it detaches. It starts spinning. It starts spinning, and little chains come out of the neck, and they start spinning and spinning and spinning. Little blades, and it pops off. And a rocket. It shoots this thing straight into the second place meatball. It flies straight into the meatball, slams into the meatball, explodes. Actually, no. Forgive me. I always get excited telling this story. The man's mouth opens. The rocket engines slam right into the back of the meatball. The man, he chews. The man's mouth chews on the meatball, and he's latched on the meatball. He starts eating the meatball. He's eating, and I could see the second place driver turn around. This 10 little kid, his name was Dobby. He looks into the dead man's eyes, and the dead man's eyes look back at him, and I say, "It's about time for dinner." And I click my detonator. Boom! Whole meatball car. The man's head explodes. 25,000 pounds of C4 we packed into the head. Car explodes. I fly over the crater that it created, slam over on the road, straight through the finish line, and that's how I became very rich for the rest of I spent a lot of it on toys. If I could have kept those euros, I would have had my truck now. Also, if you slam through a number of cars during traffic, you still get a satisfactory job. You're fine. Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. So everyone, I'm going to stop playing Euro Truck Simulator, the adventure of a lifetime. Whoa! So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the adventures of Tot Skin from the company Chub Dips. It's been a very, very exciting adventure, and I just wanted to say, hope you've enjoyed my stories, because that's about it. It's just stories. All right. So thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.